Hello everyone, welcome to our channel United Chopras from Mumbai. We are back again. This is the third episode of the DV and AB show, and it's been a quite interesting week, though I can't say it exciting. We had a bad game on Sunday. We lost 6-1 at home to Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford, and then the transfer deadline panic. So all of that happened, and after that, a lot of things have come out after the transfer window closed. So we're going to discuss all that today. Before I begin the video, please make sure that you hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to our channel if you are new. So I'll begin this video. AB, just want to get your point of view on the transfers that we have made this season. We have signed Donny van de Beek, we have signed Edinson Cavani, Alex Telles as a left back, and we have signed a couple of young players. What are your positive and negative takeaways from this transfer window?
The first positive I see is signing two youngsters, out of which one, Adam Traore, will be only available after January. But we can start with Pellegrini because he looks to be a fine young talent. Let me be frank enough, Cavani, a very good player, a very good career throughout, but let's not be happy about him. There is nothing good, there is nothing, to be very frank, to be very happy about him. The only thing which we can expect is he can be a bit like Ibrahimovic. So maybe Cavani can go back to Ibrahimovic, get few tricks what he actually did when he came to United. But apart from that, it's just more like of a lollipop that the managers are giving us, and that the board of directors are giving us, just to be happy that we have signed a striker. But look at his age; he's 33. I would not say he's a
Number
bad
seven.
player.
They gave him number seven jersey.
That has to be the biggest funny point to see after the 6-1 loss. I mean, the last week was a disaster. I was almost about to lose my patience after looking at that game. I mean, pathetic. That's
Bad, really.
still a better word.
Absolutely.
Had it been some other channel, I would have actually given my actual point of view. But let's not make an adult video and let's stick to what we have to say. But really, looking at that match, 6-1 loss, actually, as United fans, we are not used to it. I don't even remember when was the last time I saw that scoreline, and we were on the defeating end. We have won so many matches, the best I see 8-2 against Arsenal, but losing a 6-1, I mean, it was one of the worst nightmares you could see in your life. And yes,
The
coming back to the transfer, yeah, sorry.
No, no. What I was saying is the problem is not 6-1 because if you remember, we lost 6-1 to Manchester City under Alex Ferguson. But we have that belief there is a team there which will bounce back, and this is just a bad day in the office. But and right now it seems that every day in the office is a bad day. There are very few good days. You can hardly count them on your fingers. That's what the situation is. After the season has begun, players aren't looking sharp. Nobody had the desire or hunger to play
True.
that well. We had to sign good players. We didn't do that. I'm really happy we didn't sign Usman Dembele. It would have been a major disaster. So that's something I'm really happy about. But yes, apart from that, Telles is only the signing that looks good. Yes, Donny van de Beek is also a good signing, but he hasn't started a Premier League game. So, buying such a wonderful player, a talent, 23 years, and he's a proven talent. So, I am not sure why this favoritism towards Pogba and McTominay. Donny van de Beek should have started that game against Tottenham Hotspurs. And because Pogba is not in a good touch. Now, on his
True.
day, Pogba is a world beater. I mean, he's an amazing player. But right now, he's not match fit. There's no sharpness. He lacks that, fitness. So the ideal scenario would have been to start Donny van de Beek and then, get Pogba from the bench till he gets back to complete match fitness. And then, you can rotate the three of them, Bruno, van de Beek, and
Absolutely.
Pogba. So that would have been the ideal scenario, but that hasn't happened. And yes, like you said, those two youngsters, they are just amazing. Now, unfortunately, Ahmad Traore will only be able to play in January. Looks to be an amazing player from what I've heard. To be honest, I haven't seen either one of them playing. So yes, it is a gamble, but you never know because the positive side is we're not signing these British players, and overhyping them. for the first time I see a South American talent coming, and and from what I've heard, he's not going to play in the under 18 or the reserve squad. He's going to play with the first team. So again, a positive sign. So let's something to be happy about. I know we have missed our targets. We'll discuss that later in the video. The targets we should have signed, but this is something, you know, a small thing to be happy about. There are a lot of things that went wrong. So there is a big break now of around 10-12 days. Let's see if our players can, get back to complete match fitness after the international games and start from where they left before the lockdown. I'm sorry, after before the season ended. So if we start to replicate that form, I think we can slowly and gradually, be a better team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And looking at these games right now, you look at the small teams also. All teams are performing. So if you see this season, it's not only Man City, it's not only Liverpool, it's not only Chelsea. You see the likes of Everton, you see the likes of Leicester City. I mean, all are performing. And Aston Villa, it was a big surprise for Liverpool.
Yeah,
I mean, you couldn't have believed that 7-2 loss, and that too for a champion team like Liverpool. I mean, that means you can just imagine what a roller coaster of a season this would be. So what we are planning, what United are thinking, yeah, we'll go till the January window and then we'll play with Traore. My friend, till January, it should not happen that we lose all the games and then we
yeah.
completely depend on Traore. Yeah. So we just have to become strong right now. Whatever happens, it's not easy to forget the 6-1 loss, but we have to leave that behind and start a new week, and we have to start winning. None of draws and no more of losses. Let's start winning now.
Yeah, it is what it is now. We have signed these players. Now, there's no point in being negative. I know these are not the signings that we wanted, but let's get behind the team. Let's see if we can, slowly and gradually get back to our winning ways. And I'm not expecting our team to win the title this season, but at least if we close that gap with Liverpool and Man City, I'll be really happy at the end of the season. Now, what I want to talk to you about was after the transfer deadline got over, news broke out. I mean, I think ESPN, it was, yes, ESPN said that before the transfer window began, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had listed four targets. Now, four of them were, of course, the first one we all knew, Jadon Sancho, and then it was Jack Grealish, Dio Upamecano, and Nathan Ake. To the surprise, we haven't managed to sign either one of them. Now, I don't expect our board to sign all four of them because practically no team, ends up signing all the players they target every season because you always tend to miss out on a player or two. So, what I expect for United to do is act more diligently in the market like a team who's a top team. Out of the four players that we listed, if we would have even signed Jadon Sancho and Dio Upamecano, this could have been a really good window, along with signing Telles and Noni van der Beek. It would have been a really good window because, like you had earlier said in the previous video, we need a centre back. Centre back was always the priority. You see Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, and Eric Bailly, they are not up to the mark. A lot of people say when Eric Bailly is fully fit, he's a world class player. No, my friend, he's not a world class defender. He's a decent defender who is quick out of all our centre backs. He's the fastest one. So that is the advantage that we have. But he is prone to a lot of errors, and that was reflected in that game against Tottenham Hotspur, the third goal which he gave away, the ball he gave away. So that's what he is either injured, he is error prone. At times he looks world class, and then in other moment he looks like a championship side defender. So there's a lot of inconsistency if you see. And Upamecano would have been the right answer because he's just 21 years of age. And if we would have slashed 50, 60 million, Leipzig would have sold him. So don't you think at least we should have signed at least two out of the four players? Because I don't expect United to sign Grealish because Villa was literally blackmailing because of the because just because they didn't get relegated, they wanted more money. So I'm completely okay with us not signing Grealish, and Van der Beek is more versatile than Grealish. So I'm pretty happy. But at least two of signings, Upamecano and Sancho would have been really good. Don't you think so?
Well, what they started saying is the board of directors said is that we are in hunt for Grealish. So earlier, the last year January window, when they were almost about to be knocked off or maybe getting relegated, he was available at 20 million. Just imagine 20 million for a Jack Grealish, and once they qualify for the next season, it becomes 80 million. So all of a sudden, this big drastic change. So
Yeah,
you can just imagine the amount of change once they went from a relegation and back in the Premier League.
correct.
All of these were being kept aside, and what the board guaranteed us is, you know what, out of four, leave the three. We are only concentrating on Sanchez, and it will be 100% that we'll get that player. Now, all the United fans, starting from the month of the transfer window, were only fixed onto one attention and only up to one player, that was Sanchez. Any day you open up your mobile, any day you open up ESPN Star Sports, any news that you check on sports related to Manchester United, I don't see anything even about Solskjaer or anything about Manchester United. It was only and only focused to Jordan Sanchez.
Yes, yes,
So
yeah,
what? Yeah. So even at the end of the last day, also everyone was thinking he might
yeah.
come, and you know what? It was the biggest foolishness that
And
we did.
maybe apparently Fabrizio Romano said if Manchester United went in with a bid of 120 million euros on the deadline day, Dortmund would have accepted it. You see there?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because it's from Dortmund there was no doubt. They were very clear from day one that they want 120 million. It's that we were playing the gamble. Once we said 61, then we said 90, then we said, you know what, max is 100. That's what we can do. But they were very confident from day one. They said 120 is what we need to give, and the player is yours. So I don't see there was any game played by them. They were quite clear in their thoughts. You pay 120, you have Jadon Sancho with you. The worst part, what I see is when you scout a player, yeah, it's from day one that you know a club has given his amount. You know, you need to pay 120, you take the player. Okay. I understand you start to debate, you keep on having these transfer negotiations. Maybe you can reduce maybe like a 10, 20 million here or there. But a club has been paying the same amount for the past 4 to 5 months. I mean, it is quite obvious they are not going to reduce the amount. He is not an aged player. Yeah, he is the youngest player that they have. And more the young player, the chances of reducing the wages or reducing the transfer money is very rare. So this was the biggest blunder that we did. A big way to make a fool of ourselves, I would say. Jadon Sancho, I mean, had I been on your side, I could have absolutely understand. You want to be here, but just because of two, three foolish people, you are still back where you don't want to be. And it's
Yeah,
really hard. It's really sad to see that part that it's the end of the transfer season, end of everything, end of Manchester United dreaming about Jadon Sancho. Now just play with what you have and just forget about Jadon Sancho. Because anyways, even if he's available in the next transfer window, Madrid
he's
is not going to stay back. Madrid will put their each and every effort to get him at Madrid. You know, and that time when Madrid gives a bid, they don't care about small teams like United. They have a big bid lobby. So let's get out of the way. If you couldn't give 120, Madrid would even give a 200 million and get him back to Real Madrid. So it's done. Thank you for the Sancho journey. It's done for our end.
yeah. See, if you forget Madrid, even what from what I've heard, next year Real Madrid would either go for Sadio Mane or Mohamed Salah. They would want to sign either one of them. Now, in any scenario, if they end up signing either one of them, Liverpool will have that money to buy Jadon Sancho, and that will be an
Absolutely.
absolute nightmare. Jadon Sancho playing in a Liverpool shirt, it will be an absolute nightmare. Over and above that, Barcelona are going to end up, losing Messi next year. They will sell Usman Dembele and Griezmann as well, from what it looks. They will need a winger, right winger, and Jadon Sancho will be there on the radar. This was the right time. There was no team in for it, and we could have easily got him. But we made a big mess of it, and next season I don't think it will be possible. The player wanted to come here. Next year I don't think it will take a huge amount of convincing from the manager to get him here. Otherwise, I don't see either him or Jack Grealish coming here next season. It will be very difficult. Also, yeah,
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. You know what we have done is we have done a very easy job for the other clubs. You know, we have just made them realize in case you're looking for a potential transfer, we have hunted this player. You know, we have hunted this player for 4 months. That means he's a quality player. So the other clubs who are having their transfer managers, they are ready. They know the moment United has put down their papers against Sancho, they are ready with the next season. The moment they get him available, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. You look at Chelsea. I mean, they can do anything this season. Yeah, you just name a player who's available on the transfer market. Chelsea has them. So I will not be surprised if I see Sancho being linked to Chelsea someday, or as you said, Liverpool also. And just imagine if he goes to any of the big clubs, Liverpool, Chelsea. You look at the conditions right now, it will be just be worse for us.
Yeah, there'll be a world-class team.
Absolutely.
Now, another thing that I want to talk about was the captaincy, because Harry Maguire has come under a lot of scrutiny, because not only what happened off field, now we are all ready to forget what happened off field because we actually don't know what happened in Greece. A lot of stories coming out. So we are okay to give him the benefit of doubt on that. But what matters is what he does on the pitch. He doesn't lead for it from with the example. He doesn't have the leadership quality. He's not even being a good defender. We spent 85 million for him. He doesn't even look to be a 15, 20 million defender. You saw that first goal. He's literally pulling up Shaw. You know, my friend, are you defending your own teammate? Are you tackling your own teammate? What are you trying to do? And this is not, because we understand, even world class players tend to make a mistake or two. But this is repeating itself again and again, over and again. It happened in that semi final match against Sevilla. From the time we begin this season, he's been absolute pathetic at the back. And now, what I don't like is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is, very adamant that he wants to stick with Harry Maguire as a captain. I don't know what he sees in him, or you know, he feels that there is a player in him who is a world class player and he can lead by example. No United fan, for that matter, any football expert or a person who watches football week in week out would tell you easily that he is not the right man for the captaincy job. From from what I feel, that captaincy armband should either go to Bruno Fernandes, David De Gea, or Marcus Rashford. I'm sure you would disagree with me. You would rather give it to Paul Pogba. But yeah, but I think Paul Pogba would also be a decent captain material. But for me, the right person to have that armband is Bruno Fernandes because he's the leader on the pitch. The quality he displays, he has that passion. He wants to win games. He wears that badge, United badge, with pride. And from what I heard, that in the halftime dressing room, he was very upset and he had a major fight with Harry Maguire, and that's why he was kept in the dressing room along with Anthony Martial. So we need such players, who have that kind of tendency, that attitude, and the captaincy armband, no doubt, should either go to him or David De Gea for that matter. Rashford is too young, and I don't think it will be right. I think right currently looking at the situation, either it is going to be Bruno Fernandes, and if you feel he's too new, he's too young for the club. I mean, he's just come like 6, 7 months into the club. It's wrong to give him the captain armband. You can rather give it to David De Gea. But Harry Maguire is no way the captain material. He doesn't deserve that armband. He needs to focus on his defending. He needs to be a good defender. Then we can think about giving him the captaincy armband. Don't you think the same way?
Oh, well, absolutely correctly said. If you look at our past captains, Roy Keane, Gary Neville, they used to be the first person, if there's any tackle happening, any card being given out, they used to be the first person to approach the referee to check what exactly had happened, and that was not worth a card. But if you see the previous game, you look at what Marshall, he was just given a red card, and Maguire was very much okay. He didn't even walk up to the referee to check exactly what had happened, and was it really deserving to be a red card. Leave those things apart. You are a captain. You need to lead from the front. I don't see any of the captaincy qualities in him. Whenever we concede a goal, it's, you can check as many footages as you want. He is as cool as he wants to be. He is not at all pumped up. He is not at all going behind the players. You know what? What are you doing? Now get back to the ball. Make sure that we tackle this player. Make sure we don't get allowed to get him a shot on goal. He's very cool about it. He thinks he can manage it, and he only manages to tackle our own defender, which is Luke Shaw. I mean, who does that? Who does that on a professional pitch? I know you want to do a tackle. I know you want to put a tackle under your name that you have tackled, but not your own teammates, my friend. Yeah, there are better oppositions who are just running around our box. Tackle them. you're just tackling Luke Shaw. That does not actually happen, and you have just got a big pull out of yourself. As you said correctly, I would love Pogba to be a captain because I see that he has a talent. He's not been able to perform though, which I absolutely understand nowadays. But if you give him a chance, put the responsibility on him, I think so he may be able to perform. And there is no doubt in Bruno Fernandes, looking at his consistency, looking at the way that he wants to play for the team. He wants to win. He is not to come here to just be happy with a draw, or he is okay with a couple of losses here and there. He is not at all happy with it. He wants to win. That kind of dedication should be there in a captain, which I don't see Maguire. And if you would have seen the news or many of these pictures on Facebook also, one of our best left back, Patrick Evra, he has shown his anger on this comment.
Yeah.
He said that you actually need to play for United. You have to play for a club that you should be happy, you should be very proud to wear that jersey when you come on the pitch. And a person who stays in that particular club for almost 9 to 10 years deserves a captain armband, and not a person who just come a year back and he should not be given a captain's armband. I will not completely blame Soldier, but he actually has to open his eyes now. It's enough of chance given, enough of opportunity given. My friend, remove him or else we are surely out of the title. We are already out of the title, I feel, as you said. But let's try to be in top five or top four, as you said, and let's at least try to be closer on the table rather than just struggling to be. I sometimes I should not be saying this, but I really fear relegation also at times.
Now, I also want to talk about Paul Pogba. Now, uh, a couple of days back, he came out and said in the press conference that playing for Real Madrid is a dream for him. And, he said that, right now I want to win with Manchester United. I'm happy at Manchester United, but it's my dream to play with Real Madrid. Now, this is happening again and again, repeating itself again and again. When he is happy, when the team is doing well, he wants to sign a new contract. When the team isn't doing well, he wants to talk about Real Madrid. Now, I don't have any problem him talking about Real Madrid. Even Ronaldo used to do that. He came out and said that his dream is to play for Real Madrid. But the timing doesn't look good. After the 6-1 loss, rather than talking about your next move, next club, you know, you would. I mean, you're playing for the French national team. Why would you discuss your next, club that you want to join? If someone asks you a question about Real Madrid, you just straight away say that I'm playing for Manchester United right now, United player. I don't want to talk about other clubs. Why would you say that? It's openly flirting with the Real Madrid board? He's telling them, "Come and get me next season." I mean, this is what either he's doing that or he wants a bumper contract. You know, because this comment will send the fans into, you know, all over the place in social media, and the board will come under pressure and give him a bumper contract. Either he's trying to do that or he's trying to get a move to Real Madrid. He's telling Real Madrid, come and get me. So like I said, I don't have a problem with him doing that, but the timing doesn't seem to be appropriate. Don't you think that? I know
Well,
he likes
see,
player, but the timing, it is not first time. He's done it again and again. The last time we ended up, sixth or fifth in the table, and he wanted to leave, and he was open about it. So when we are not playing well, he wants to go. When we are playing well, he wants to sign a new contract. It becomes becoming very too obvious.
as you said correctly, but the only difference between Ronaldo and Pogba is Ronaldo was still performing. He wanted to be at Madrid, but he was performing at United. But Pogba is not doing that. The moment he is not performing, he fails to realize this, that it's not that United is not performing. My friend, you're not performing, and ultimately United is not performing. So you need to perform and go to Madrid, not a problem, because Madrid are always in hunt for big players. Yeah. But look at Ronaldo. In the last game that he played for us, he was always on his top game. And look at Pogba, exactly the opposite. He's not able to perform, but just wants to go away to big teams. He signed a contract is because when he saw when Bruno was doing it, and Bruno was doing it at top class level. He just came in last season and he started with a bang. And Pogba then realized that there is a good chance that we can play the Champions League next season, which is this season, I would say. So, he's just looking out for opportunities. You play good, I stay back in the team. You don't play good. You know what? I'm still a good player. I'll move to Madrid. Man, you just need to think about what you want, Pogba. You just either you stay back at the club, be loyal, or better get out, go to Madrid. We maybe make someone like Pogba, or maybe someone better like Pogba. And I would say Van der Beek has a really good chance to be that. He is
Yeah,
looking quite sharp. The runs that he takes, I would always say that. I've said in the previous videos as well. The runs that he takes, he's very active about it. He knows when he needs to take a run. And the passes also that he does, he's keeping on rotating continuously. He's not standing at a particular place, you know what, you put the ball on my feet and then I'll think about
always
making
he
a move.
wants to be in the game. He always wants
Exactly.
to be in the game.
Yes, and he wants to keep on playing fast. That is one good thing which I like about him. Pogba off late, yes, he is not doing good. I would really say, my friend, if you want to leave, please leave. Don't create a suspense because we no longer have any kind of suspense left. The board of directors are giving us a very bad sign, and even if you do, it does not really matter. We are taking all the bad things at this season. Never thought we would have to go under this bad phase that we are going through. So that's fine, Pogba. You leave, I'll have no heartache. You can please leave, no problem.
Now, lastly, all I want to talk about is the manager. The, after the transfer deadline closed, a lot of rumors came out that United were looking to change. Give Mauricio Pochettino a chance and sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer if the performance continued to be the same. Now, how fair do you think is that on Ole? Because number one, he's not been backed by with the transfers. We have repeatedly failed. Number two, we have failed to sign Erling Haaland. In the January, we failed to sign Jadon Sancho, Upamecano, and I think last season itself, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted to sign Kalidou Koulibaly, but United went for a cheaper buy, which is Harry Maguire. Although it didn't look cheaper to me, they could have spent extra 10 million and bought a world class defender. So, the board keeps on getting the managers second or third choice players. They don't back them, and the end of the day, they you know get sack them and bring in a new manager. The entire point is when you don't back the manager, how do you expect him to give you a top four position? Forget about the title. If you don't, the entire process of winning the title starts from getting the squad, making the team, bringing in the players who can come in and make a difference. Once you make that kind of a team, then you can, challenge for the title. Right now, we do not have that, kind of a team, players who can come from the bench, who can make a difference. Right now, the first 11 itself is not in a strong position. So, like I said, this is like the third window and a third manager, in fact, we have not backed. Louis Van Gaal wanted Lewandowski, Higuain, and a lot of good other players. But if he was given Falcao, Morgan Schneiderlin, all average players, then the problem is that these players don't perform, and it becomes very difficult for us to sell them. Now, Marcos Rojo is a liability to this club, so you can't play him, but you have to pay his wages. That creates a negative impact in the dressing room. So, yeah, see, I don't have any problem. You feel that Ole is not doing a good job, you sack him. But what's the point? You're bringing Pochettino and you're going to do the same thing. It's complete, pointless. You had a world class manager in Jose Mourinho. He was not backed, and at the end, he got the sacking. So this is the same thing repeating itself again and again after every 2 years.
Uh, Want to sack a manager, you can sack them only when you have given them the players that you wanted. So you give them the players that they've asked for, and still if the players are not performing, then you sack them. Now, just imagine the case. These board of directors want to sack the managers. This cannot just happen every 2 years or every season. Sacking a manager will only make it different and difficult for the players. They have to do something new with every manager. Board of directors, why don't you sack the transfer window person? Why don't you sack Ed Woodward? Yes, he's not able to perform what he's supposed to. He's not getting the players that we are requesting for. Better sack him than sacking the manager. I would not say sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is because, as you said correctly, he's requesting for good players. He is not getting them. Sacking them for something which Ed Woodward is not capable of is absolutely wrong. He should be a part of the team, and Soldier has been a part of United. He has served a lot, so many years for United, and he's been a very good person. I don't think so. There could be anyone better apart from him right now, and just keep on changing your manager does not actually solve the purpose of the team. Rather than sacking a Soldier, I would say sack Woodward, let him go, get a better transfer person. He can get us a big signing, and then let's
Yeah.
talk. And then, yeah, and even then, after getting a good person who's getting better than Ed Woodward, still if we are struggling to win matches, then I would say it is a big time to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Right now, it's
See,
on the
all
rising team.
you're absolutely correct. See, all big clubs, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspurs, for that matter, Man City, they have a sporting director who knows about the game, who knows what's going around in the market. When the transfer window closes, they begin the preparation for the next window. They start
Absolutely.
scouting players. They get to know the budget. They get to know the market price of that player, and they work out the entire process and start go into the transfer market with the intention of getting the players for the right position. And they are always ready with a backup plan. So let's say if they can't sign Sancho due to a financial struggle, they will end up signing a player who is similar to him, if not the same player, but at least like for example, on the 1st of August, Dortmund made it crystal clear that the price for Sancho is going to be 120 million and they're not going to budge. So if there was sporting director, he would have ended up looking for a player like Adama Traore of Wolves or
Yeah.
say Maximin of Newcastle. These are a good option, although they may not be as good as Sancho, but at least he gets a quality player. So, you know, for a club like Manchester United, we should always be signing players who are world class players. But at times, if you can't do that due to a financial struggle or the player not wanting to come, you always need to have backup option. We didn't sign a player till the deadline day, and then we wanted to go in for Usman Dembele. So I'm sure Dembele would not have been in Solskjaer's list. He's not a player who is on any manager's list who's on the top club because the player hasn't played a decent game in past 2 years. From the time he's come to Barcelona, he's been injured most of the time. And a good manager who wants to build a team will never sign a player like Dembele. And that's what you know you are forcing players on the manager he doesn't want. You're not even giving him a first choice players, and then you're forcing a player like Dembele or a Cavani on a manager who believes in signing players who remain fit all the time, who show true hunger and passion towards the club, who are young players. This is the whole idea of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He wants to sign players who are young, who are hungry, who play for the badge, and they want to win trophies. And Dembele and Cavani are the players who will be coming to the club only for the money. Because if you remember, back in January, Cavani's agent said if Edinson Cavani wanted to get a transfer for money, he could have gone for Chelsea or Manchester United, but he doesn't want to get a transfer for money. And now he's signed for Manchester United, which is clear that he's come here for money. That's what his intentions are. No matter what he says, that it's an iconic number 7 jersey that I'll be wearing. I'll be give my 100%. But at the end of the day, he's come here just for the money, and United was never his option. Atletico Madrid. He wanted to go to Atletico Madrid, but they got a better player in Luis Suarez. So that's what the entire point is. You don't back a manager. You force signings. You force players on him. He doesn't want those players, but he has to be happy and content with those players and make sure he has a positive face and a smile and gets back to the winning ways. So this happened with Louis Van Gaal, this happened with Mourinho, and it's happening with Solskjaer all over again. And the process is continuing every couple of years. You bring in Pochettino, he will bring some positivity. So that's very natural. Any manager comes to a club, he brings in positivity. The players react and respond to that. They start winning few games, but you start to see the cracks and the flaws that we have in the team later to, after we play end up playing 20-25 games. So that's what the entire idea is. You need to stick to a manager, back him. If once you back him, he doesn't, you know, get you the results, then you may go, well, sack him. But if you're not backing him, there is no point of sacking the manager. You are going to do the same thing over and over again.
But again, as I would like to say, just imagine now in this case, let's forget the past. Let's stick to Sancho's deal. Yeah. So not getting Sancho, that's not the fault of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He had told you on day one that he wants him. We have wasted almost like 5 to 6 months just to sign one player who's still not in our squad. Just imagine the number seven what Cavani has right now. Had Ed Woodward done something good, number seven would have been Sancho. You see the
Correct.
difference? The board are just giving you again. I would say they're just giving us a lollipop by saying we have Edison Cavani. You know what? All our United fans are really very happy about it. Many of them are posting pictures about him. My friend, just come back to the reality. We wanted Sancho. Yeah, we don't want. I'm not saying Cavani is a bad player. No, he's a very good player. But what we need as a club right now, we need Sancho. We don't need Cavani right now. So, what the board is doing, what actually Ed Woodward could not do, they're putting it now on Solskjaer. And let's not do that. Let's stick to our manager. Let's back him. Rather than backing players like Maguire, we can back our manager. He's way much better than him. So, there are a couple of things which we need to change. Number one is we need to have a better I would say a young team more. I would like to see Donny van der Beek start. I would like to see Maguire's captain band being removed and given to Bruno Fernandes. Maguire, you're good, but you're not worth of being a United captain. I'm sorry, but I'm being very frank about it. And I want Van der Beek to start. Let what come may. Pogba, you may rest for some time. Think about Madrid. You can have some good dreams about Madrid and let Donny van der Beek start because you know what? We are bringing a player from a completely a good team where he was in a super form and you are just benching him. He's playing the last 20-22 minutes, which is still about to understand the game. Rather give him the give his in the starting lineup. Maybe he can do something good. And looking at the current form of Pogba, he can do much more better than Pogba. That is for sure.
Correct. Absolutely. Now, we need to correct our mistakes. We need to stick. I mean, it is what we have now. We can't go back. We've signed the players. Let's back the players. Let's get back behind our team. Let's hope that the mistakes that we made from the past 3-4 games, we don't repeat that. And once the international games are over, we are back again with you know start winning games. We get the momentum back, and we have a busy schedule in the month of October and huge games. We're playing PSG, Chelsea, Leipzig, Arsenal. So we expect our team to play well. It's not that we don't have a team that can't win. We have a team that the right mentality, right attitude should get in. And I only hope that after this international break, we get back and start winning games like how we did after the lockdown. And I'll be really happy. Like I said, I don't expect us to win the title. I just want us to reduce the gap between the top two teams. And now Chelsea is also going to do well this season after the amount of players they've bought. Even Arsenal and Spurs are doing pretty well. So it's a big competition. But we have a team. I don't say we have a title winning team, but at least we should get top four. And then next season, bring in those players that we couldn't bring this time and challenge for the title. So guys, with this, I'll end this video. Once again, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, AB, for coming on the show. And I
Thank you.
really like your giving lollipop. I'm still laughing. And actually, it's a fact that we've been given lollipop since many years. So I
Absolutely.
hope
And
everything
actually,
gets back to
just
normal once the season start. Yeah, you
and
saying
I just
something?
wanted to say one thing is that we should be thankful to God that we saw the 6-1 game and we have 2 weeks of rest because seeing again a 6-1 or maybe a 2-1 or a 3-1 defeat in the back-to-back weeks would have been a disaster for us. So
Correct.
very happy that it happened and now that we have got a break. Keeping jokes apart, it is a disaster to see 6-1 loss, but I would like to see the winning track coming back. once we join the league with Newcastle. Let's hope that we do a good post-match presentation. The next video that we do, we both are on the happy and the winning end rather than being on the losing
Absolutely, yeah,
side.
yeah. Let the positivity kick in.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. You have a good weekend. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.